You're giving yourself over to God. Even though you walk in a form, you no longer wish the pleasures of the form. You have chosen the joyfulness and the eternity of the memory of your joining your Father and your Source, which are one, of course. So giving yourself over to God is simply observing the addictions you have, the attachments you have to the pleasures of the form, and abandoning them. Saying, oh, this I no longer want. This label, mother, I no longer wish. Wife, child, whatever. Very gently letting them go. Like if they have been, imagine yourself as a harbor and you have all these boats tied. And each boat is an attachment or a label with which you feel identified in this world. And then you look upon it and you say, I'm no longer going to use this boat. You take the rope and you let it go. And as it goes away, you are at peace. And then you see this other attachment, or this other pleasure, or this other, whatever, addiction to the world. And you say, I'm no longer going to go on this boat again. And you let it go. You don't even have to push it. You just untie it and watch it go away. Naturally, painlessly, fearlessly. And this is how you go until you have an apparent empty harbor. But then in this apparent empty harbor, there is just the complete fulfillment of your mind that no longer needs to be receptive because it just is and lives only to serve love. Then you've given yourself over completely to God.
I mean, in the Gospel, Jesus himself said, you know, those actual words, how it's translated in English, yes, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And it's not necessarily easy giving up the ego, you know, it's the attraction of the world.
And you go little by little. You go little by little. There's a symbol that comes to my mind, because I'm from Venezuela. And in Venezuela, we have, I don't know if you've seen this, where our Indians there's a group of Indians called Waraos, and their houses are on stilts in the water. You know,
lakes, yes.
Yeah, and then they have the platform on it, and it has many stilts, and you can push one down, but the house won't fall. So imagine that this platform on which you live is the ego mind, and it's on stilts, which are your beliefs, your addictions. This is just a symbol. And then as you do your spiritual work, as you go back to your inner teacher for help, please say, help me. I'm in pain, or I'm suffering, or I have this addiction, or I'm so much into pleasure, or whatever. And you pinpoint one idea, one belief, and you're willing to give it over to the Holy Spirit, to your inner teacher, so that it can be abandoned, then one of the stilts goes down. But the platform's still on, but you're working on it, you know. And there will come a time when the platform falls. But you got to go little by little, little by little. If you pull one down and the whole thing came down, you'd freak out. You would be in so much fear. And salvation has nothing to do with fear. Salvation is gentle and loving and caring and tender and kind. Your Father knows that you've walked the ways of the world, and the ways of the world are fearful. So to undo this walk, this is what atonement is, to undo this walk. It's done little by little so that love becomes something natural to your heart. And no longer fearful. You will not be afraid anymore. But it will happen for you. It will happen for you. It will be a result of your willingness to be helped. The ego mind will say, yes, I can do this. And then that little voice within you will say, yes, but not alone. And until you hear this voice and listen to it, yes, but not alone, you will start to feel humble. The mind that says, yes, I can do it, is the arrogant mind of the spiritual ego. The mind that hears, yes, I can do it with your help. I will be free. I don't free myself. I will be free. I will be given. I will be restored to my true self. It's reflective. It's me and the other. It's my true teacher and myself. It's my father, and I use my brothers, and my relationship is a collaboration enterprise. The ego always wants to do it alone. It's arrogant. So, we're walking this journey together, my inner teacher and I. And you and I will join. If you choose to listen to your inner teacher, then we will be joined there. Mm-hmm. And it will be us together. Mm-hmm. And as we go, it will be more and more of us. We will never do it alone. And as we become aware that we're not alone, it becomes easier and gentler.
Mm-hmm. So could you say that then the ego has a sort of, it plays a so-called, to its own way of thinking, a spiritual game in which it insidiously sort of appears to be spiritual but actually is very arrogant?
Well, you know, the thought system of the ego is a mockery of heaven. Can I say that? A mockery? Like like a joke. Like a joke. It has tried to reproduce true life in this world. There's nothing of it that is real, but in this so-called reproduction of true life, of course it has a spiritual life. Of course. And it also has a God with a beard. That is a guide. You know, so but we're walking away from that gently with the help of our inner teacher. This is not something you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
You need your help. You need your tuition from inside